Welcome to Whippoorwill Holler. I'm Miss Lori and this is Mr. Brown. We live in the hills of Arkansas. We love the Lord. Keepers of the old way, but accept some of the new. We love to cook and we love to eat. We love to garden. It's in our blood. It's how we stay sustainable and fill our pantry. We do a lot of canning and preserving. We live a sustainable life. We love our family. We work hard. And every once in a while, we like to dance. So y'all join us. Hi guys. Well, we're out here in the kitchen garden out back. And it's finally a good time to plant my green beans. And my favorite green bean are contenders. I love bush beans. That's generally what I always plant. I think in my pan here, I got my contender beans, and some of these, the brown ones, I think are called a tender snap or something like that. I can't remember now. But, so the question is to soak your beans or not soak your beans. To soak your seeds or not soak your seeds. I tend to go to more of soaking my beans and soaking my seeds because I seem to get a better germination that way. Now my beans here, they've been soaking, well, they soaked overnight and most all day today. Today's Sunday and we've had a very busy day. But here it is in late evening and I've got to get my beans planted. Now usually I plant my green beans out in the main garden out by the greenhouse. But this year I'm going to be planting them in the kitchen garden, which is behind the house. It's called my kitchen garden because it's where a lot of my stuff grows that I use pretty much every day. I can walk out my back door, come into my enclosed kitchen garden, and whatever I need, I just pick some, take it in, and use it. But, so we talked about soaking. Some people say they don't ever soak theirs. I always do. And like I said, I get good germination out of it. You don't have to. You do not have to soak your beans. I'd rather have bush beans because if you get pole beans, you've got to be able to put something up that they can trellis on. And yes, last year I messed up and planted a bunch of pole beans. And let me tell you something, I had beans way into the fall too. They done really good, but I'd rather have bush beans. And like I said, contenders are my favorite. Kentucky Wonder is another one. But these have been soaked, so I'm fixing to plant them. Now when you're planting your green beans, you want to plant them anywhere from 1 to 2 inches deep. You want to plant each bean anywhere from 1.5 to 2 inches apart. And you want your rows about 2.5 to 3 foot apart on your rows. I'm going to be doing mine beds, so my rows won't be that far apart, which is fine with me because I'll be able to get in there and just really get to picking beans. Hopefully they're going to do really good. So 1 to 2 inches deep, each bean about 1 inch, 2 inch apart. I usually do mine about 2 inches apart. Some people, if you do it 1 inch apart, you might come in and thin them out, to make sure that you get enough come up. And I'll show you my bed that I'm going to start with. And I will do 3 rows in this bed. The bed is 4 foot wide and 8 foot long. And then my older bed's back here. I'm even going to do three rows in there. So they'll be thick. But I have planted them that close before and they done just fine. So let's get started planting these things. I'm going to show you if I can get up here. Let me see. Let me look and make sure I'm showing y'all. Yes, that is the green beans contenders. Like I said, the brown ones I think are called tender snap. I can't remember. But all of them are bush beans. They have been soaked overnight, and we're going to plant them now. Now, the soil I've gotten here is compost that Danny and I have made here on the homestead, plus worm castings. And that's what's in these beds here. Okay, we got our beans planted. I've got my beds all watered down good. I come back here to this bed here, which has got some broccoli, cauliflower. I think it's got a few cabbages in it. And I watered it, plus I fertilized it with some fish emulsion. And I'll show you how I mix that up. It's pretty easy. Over there, I went ahead and watered my sweet potatoes again. As soon as they get a little bit bigger, I'm going to be fertilizing them. I've got cabbage in my mineral containers here. They're doing good. I've got 3 over here tucked away. And I'll be fertilizing them tomorrow with some fish emulsion. I wanted to show y'all over here. This is my compost pile back here at the back of the garden. And this fig tree I just planted right in the middle of the compost a couple years ago, year before last. And it's been through two rough winters. It got frostbite a couple times, but it has put out some really good roots, and it's making it right here in this compost pile. And it has a little fig right there. Now, the first year that I planted this, believe it or not, we ate several figs off of it, and it wasn't very big. And back there against the fence is some Navajo blackberries that are blooming, and they're brand new. I just planted them. Let's see, down here under these little wire trash baskets here, I got these at the Dollar Tree probably about 4 years ago. And so what have I got planted down there? I'm pretty sure that may be butternut squash. Pretty sure. Anyways, I just planted them right there in the compost pile. And I put them little, they were $1 a piece. I bought a bunch of them. They're just little wire trash baskets, not very big. And I cover them up and I put a rock on top to keep the varmints from eating my plants. Right here's a mess that's got to be cleaned up. This is the very back of the garden. That's where everything went this winter, and I've not had time to clean it up yet. Over here are some onions and garlic. And right up here is another blackberry. These are tame blackberries. And they're blooming really good. This bed here needs to be fertilized too. And right here in the middle, I've got sugar snap peas right here growing up this in the middle. There's cabbage and there's broccoli. Over here is my raspberry bush. Last year I got tons of raspberries off this thing. I don't know what this year's going to be like. We'll see, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and show y'all an update on the high tunnel, how stuff has really grown the last time that we went through there. And right here, I've got some beans left that's got to be planted. But right here, I've got a few tomato plants that I'm putting in here with some herbs and some medicinal herbs plants that I plant in here. And I've got some leeks planted in this little place right here. There's oregano. There's a fountain right there. It's not working right now. But this is how I do my kitchen garden. I just kind of, and there's lavender back here. And I'm going to be planting flowers, marigolds in between. And this is just how I do my kitchen garden. So we're going to go in here and see what's going on. If y'all remember, as you walk in, at the beginning right here, I've got French breakfast radishes right there that are, I'm fixing to be able to pull some. My mint is really getting full there, isn't it? The dill is really growing. My beautiful kale, look at the pretty colors. Back in there is some more radishes. And there's some more dill back there, but it looks like one of my spinach plants has failed. I'll have to fix that. As you go on back, we still have more kale. Let's see, let's come back here. There's the dill. Quite a bit of dill growing good. And right down there is some lemon thyme. That is my favorite thyme to grow. It's so good on so many things, especially chicken and fish. And if you're making salad dressings and stuff, it's just delicious. That's Malabar spinach, and I need to get something to hold it up because it just keeps getting taller and taller. I got some Thai basil here, regular basil, some more kale. Right there's my fig tree that I think is going to make it. I thought it died, but I think it's going to make it. I really do. There's more kale. There's my garden sage that's been in here since, I guess, since the first time that I planted in here. Danny built the high tunnel. It's kind of blooming back there too. I've got some cauliflower back in the back, and I got some real pretty, those are wildflowers back there, and I forget what they're even called, but they're real pretty. I think they're either going to bloom white or yellow. I can't remember. But I got some spots in here that I can fill in with either a tomato plant or a pepper plant or something. That's what I love about my kitchen garden, is that any little space I can fill it in with different veggies, different herbs, flowers. I've got some flowers that Right here's a rose bush that has, well, it's way up there. It's grown way up tall. And I've got rosemary. There's a lavender plant back there in the very corner. Some pretty wildflowers back there. There's some more spinach. There's some more kale, and there's spinach right down there underneath the kale. Of course, my leeks. Here we got some more spinach, and we've got some romaine lettuce. Got some little bit of basil there beside it. Got some more leeks right through there. Some spinach. This right here is red leaf romaine. You see how much it's grown. I need to be eating on it. And then here's my broccoli. Look how big it's getting. It's really looking good. Looks healthy. Each one's got little broccoli on it. So it's really doing good. And if you look down through here, I've got celery. It come back and it's doing really good. More kale. I know y'all think, Lori, do y'all eat that much kale? Yes, we do. Kale is very, very beneficial. You need to eat your greens every single day. There's some parsley, some lemon thyme, some more basil, and all this kale. Y'all know I've said it before, how important it is for you to get greens in your diet every single day, especially to help fight off cancer, or if you have cancer, maybe to help with your healing. But this is my high tunnel back behind my outdoor kitchen, and it just does really good. I can't wait for the flowers to start blooming, give it some color. Well, y'all, that's just a little bit of an update on the garden, and I wanted to show y'all how I plant my green beans. I know a lot of y'all have asked me, you know, the different techniques that I use, and this is what I say. You do what works for you. You know, my grandparents grew one of the biggest gardens, and there was nothing, I mean, they just went out there, planted their stuff, and it grew, and she put a lot up. There wasn't a lot of overthinking about it, put it that way. And you'll hear a lot of things, and people say, oh, that's not how so-and-so does it, and I've never seen it done that way, are you sure it works? I say, do what works for you, because that's what I do here in the homestead. Whether if it's planting a garden, cooking, baking, canning, just whatever consists of homesteading, I do what works for me. And that's just the way I do things. So we're always learning, all of us, and I've gardened ever since I was little, and I just do what works for me, and that's all I can do. I've always been able to keep us fed, and there's nothing that I love any more than gardening, besides baking bread. I love to garden. It's my peaceful place, and I don't overthink my garden. I just do what makes me happy, and that's what I want y'all to do too. So God bless everybody. I'm going to see you in just a couple of days. I don't know what we'll be doing, but we're going to be doing something.